And good morning, everybody. It is Wonderful Wednesday with Rich Guzzi. Now, Rich taught me how to do stage hypnosis. Yet, Rich, I've got to tell you, I was really against stage hypnosis a long time ago. When I first trained in it, it was the no-no. People who were of any caliber did not do stage hypnosis.
Yep.
Tell us some of the myths.
It's interesting how the top flight clinical hypnotists would think that, that the stage people were the scourge. It was like the outcasts of the industry. And then now we're trying to change that. Like, when the show is done properly, it can be a great ambassador to our field in general, where people say, hey, hypnosis is pretty cool. This, it's a very non-threatening situation, like, to the general masses, and our objective is to get as many people interested in hypnosis as possible. So when the masses are introduced to hypnosis, they're like, what is that? They don't, it's a very big unknown. But if they come to a comedy show, it's very non-threatening. And they say, let's go see if some of our friends do goofy stuff. If done properly, the stage hypnotist can now introduce the product of hypnosis to the general public at large and introduce it in the proper way. And now you have the gold. And it's people like you, right, who are, the clinical professionals, especially the top flight ones. Now, when they start doing some stage, they realize that, wow, this is raising my profile and also raising my skill level at the same exact time.
Well, exactly. I mean, I must say, I was like, no, whenever I was telling anybody about hypnosis, I don't do that stuff from stage. I'm not going to make you do anything like that. I think it's unethical. I think it's really awful. It's, just why would you do that? And it's just like, oh my goodness. And here I am doing it. Okay. I came to see you. You were doing, I was at a conference and you were doing the show. Hey, do you know what? I volunteered. I thought, come on, I'm always up for a laugh, aren't I? Anyway.
Yeah.
So I went up. Oh my goodness. It was so much fun. It was just like, it was hilarious. And I was doing all this stuff. I kind of knew I was, but I just didn't care. And I really didn't care. I can't even remember half of what I did. It was just so freeing. And I felt great afterwards. And my confidence grew because of going up on stage. It's really powerful stuff.
Yeah. People don't realize, when the stage hypnosis show is done properly, you got to remember, you have to get the subjects on stage to hallucinate negative and get so deep that they'll do anything, on the stage. So it requires a very deep level, even lower than level 6, deep levels of hypnosis to make it happen. So when the people on stage, hypnotists experience it, they're like, wow, I've never felt this type of depth before. I've had, I've done many, many shows at hypnosis conferences where, yes, everybody's been hypnotized before, but now they're reaching a depth that is like unknown to them. It's like uncharted territory. I've had people in the audience get knocked out watching the show, and they're like, wow, I've never felt like this before. Like, what is this? What is this? And they're flabbergasted that it's, wow, I've experienced hypnosis 1,000 times, but meanwhile, this is a depth that there's never gotten before. And I teach other hypnotists that this is what we need to bring to the table in our clinical sessions, because that gives you the wow factor. And now every clinical session, those people leave as ambassadors, and they're like, wow, this is incredible. Because listen, the general public at large, they see hypnosis, they don't know anything about it. No. And they only know what they see on TV, the movies, and in the movies and TV, it's zombies. They want to see zombie-like people. But so if you don't give them the zombies, there's no wow. So we have to give them the super depth. And for me, it's all about the depth.
Yeah, and it is funny because actually the films have not helped us at all, because
no
mind games. We're going to control your mind, going to get you to do this. No, because actually the shows that I have done so far, people have only done things if they wanted to do them. and you can see it. I mean, it's there was one young man, he was like doing Elvis, but he was just moving his feet. He was kind of jiving, but he could have done all sorts of other stuff. He didn't. But this other lady, she was Madonna. Oh my gosh, she was on the floor. She was all over the place.
Yes.
So she wanted to do that. And, so if somebody really doesn't want to do something, they won't. They'll just do it enough.
Yeah. You'll see as you get on, and you've done a bunch of shows now, as you get better and better at doing the show, you'll notice that the depth of the subjects gets deeper and deeper. And then you can actually push the subjects to do more and more. And they'll resist even less. That'll come through experience and time. You'll realize how can I get these subjects even deeper? How can I fractionate them further using each individual sketch to my advantage? How can I transfer the energy from the super strong subjects like your Madonna to the guy who was weaker as Elvis? How can I transfer the energy and make that strong subject bring the weaker subject along in a stronger way?
Yeah.
And these are all more advanced techniques that you'll get as you see it more and more, and as you get your sea legs under you.
I'm excited for it. I mean, I will say for him, I don't think he'd seen much of Elvis because he was 21. So
right, yeah.
Seen
probably has
know what to do.
Yeah, no knowledge of Elvis.
Because he was really good with the strongman when he was showing his muscles off. He was like, he knew exactly what to do then, the posing.
Yep, exactly.
But I think it's if they don't really know what that might be like, then it's like they're not going to necessarily do it. And that's okay. I just want to try and tell people, we can't make people do stuff that they actually just don't want to do. They've got to kind of want to do it. There's one thing that you do, or I've been on some other ones as well, and they give us some looking glasses to see people in the audience naked. I can never see anybody naked. All the other women can. They're having a great time. And I'm like, well, nobody's naked for me. And it's like, yeah, I am like a really deep subject because I do all sorts of other stuff. But isn't that interesting? I don't want to see the other people naked. What's that about?
Yeah, that's very interesting. You know what? I would like to try that experiment with me, getting you under deep and see if it worked with me. I would be very interested to do that experiment, actually.
Okay.
Because that should be, you are a great subject. So I would like to see what it would take to make you hallucinate that, which I think we will be able to do it, actually, no problem.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure I really want to see people naked. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. But yeah, I mean, it's what I really like, Rich, is that it's all the good stuff that we put in as well.
Yes.
So you can make people feel their feelings. Now, this is what I encourage all the time in my sessions anyway. Feel your feelings and get the emotion. And because we want to get that out. And so when people realize and see that you can feel that, and then actually you can put in a lot of good as well, that is what makes your show so different.
Yep. So I was a comedian before I became a hypnotist. And I was a musician before that. So I've been on the stage pretty much my entire life. And I'm a studier of movies and television and entertainment. Because I love getting, for me, it's all about the reaction from the crowd. That's why I love live performance. I love theater. I love going to the theater and seeing plays. I love seeing music being played, symphony, the orchestra, ballet. I love live performance. So I look at it and I'm saying to myself, the reaction from the audience for me is the key to it. So I'm looking at a performance and I'm saying, you got a sitcom. It could be a very funny sitcom, but it goes to the next level when a sitcom starts tackling social issues. And then it becomes magnificent. Like All in the Family is a great example. So here you got Archie Bunker, who's supposed to be like, this bigot, racist guy, but they start tackling the social issues in the show. And that's what makes it really over the top. It really makes it good. So I'm saying to myself, I want to be able to tackle the exact same thing in my comedy hypnosis show. I want to give the message There's got to be, yes, laughter. People want to have fun, but you have to deliver a message as well. So what can this do for your life? How can this be better? What type of social issues can we make better? What type, excuse me, what type of betterment to the world at large can we bring through this amazing event?
Mm-hmm.
And as the show progresses, you see the transformation of the audience, and they're like, wait a minute, there's more to this than just the show.
Yeah.
There's this guy is training these people to get this, that, and the other thing, but he's also training us to understand what this tool can do for you, what hypnosis can now bring to the table. And I look at it, we all know, hurt people, so bad things happen because bad people do things, to other, and the cycle continues. So what happens if everybody used a hypnotist and the whole world became better because there was less hurt people going out and damaging other people? So that's what we have to bring to the table. We have to bring the awareness that if everybody used a little bit of hypnotic technique to the masses, we'd all be better. We'd all be better off. So that's what the show should bring to the table. And the more people go out there doing great shows like this, the more awareness this tool will have, this profession will have. I believe that the hypnotist should be on the speed dial with the lawyer, the doctor, financial advisor, your dentist, right? The hypnotist. Everybody should have a hypnotist.
Yeah, I know I am with some people. They've told me. Now it's interesting. Well, that you just saying all of that is what made me want to learn stage hypnosis.
Yeah,
because it was just showing people how I do it, more people. And
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, and through comedy, because I do actually use a lot of laughter in my sessions anyway.
Yep.
That we generally have a giggle and a laugh because it's just the way I am. And we all know that laughter is actually the best medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And so why not? Because I can. So I learned it properly from you and how to do a show correctly with all the bits. And yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. Listen, you were great already. I mean, you were already a great hypnotherapist. That was a given. So you have a strong background already. But now you're upping your game to the next level. You're making, because your depth of subject by doing the show, your skill level of being a hypnotist. Because I look at hypnosis as two separate line items. You have the induction, and then you have the whatever comes after it. So line item number one is hypnotizing somebody, getting them into state, the induction. And then whatever comes after that is, so if you're doing a comedy show, it's funny stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing therapy, it's therapy. Let's put some good stuff in here. So those two separate line items. The problem is with most hypnotists, they're not good at line item number one. They're really great at the therapy part because they've taken trainings, certifications, and they learn these techniques. However, they dismiss the depth, and they don't realize that depth a lot of times really matters, because yes, you can reject a suggestion because you don't want to do that. You can reject that suggestion at levels 1, 2, and 3, maybe 4. But now you're at level 5, level 6, deeper than that. We have levels below that people don't even know about. Hypnotists don't even know about it. Level 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are levels that are so deep that no matter what you told the subject, they will do it.
Well, and this is true. And that's why people can have surgery at that depth.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're becoming that person now. You're becoming, and your responsibility level goes up dramatically, because I tell people that once you're that good of a hypnotist, everything suggestion you put in there now becomes gospel. They're not going to reject something. So if you mess that wording up in a script, you mess that wording up in your therapy, and now something is in there that shouldn't be in there, you got to fix that on the spot. I've seen hypnotists get really good at the induction part, and all of a sudden they say, "Oh man, I'm having a lot of abreactions lately." It's because they're winging their script work. They're winging the therapy work, and they put something in, and all of a sudden they're having an off day, or they weren't paying attention, and now something's in there that wasn't supposed to be put in there. and they have a sleep disorder, they have some type of other phobia or whatever, that's accidentally getting put in there because the wording was wrong in the therapy section.
Well, I mean, I don't use scripts. I use the client is my script, but
Yep.
it's like, but my other work, I actually do encourage. I don't mind saying I want people to feel their feelings, because then I do other stuff anyway. Eye movements to relieve that. But that's a whole different scenario. That with the bunny talk process and other various things that I've learned, like havening. So it's so as I say, that it's. But there's also conversational hypnosis that we know that we can use with people, that people don't realize that actually, just the way we speak to somebody and make them feel so important and special is actually a form of, seductive hypnosis.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's there's so many ways to do it.
It's the conversational hypnosis is so powerful because people don't realize. So a lot of fears and phobias, things that are stuck in there, happened accidentally even. So let's make believe it wasn't even a traumatic experience that gave you the fear of snakes or dogs or whatever it is, right? Spiders. We'll go with a fear or phobia. It could be something as simple as you're playing a video game as a kid, and your parents come in. What are you doing in the dark here? Boom, and they open the blinds up, and a flash of light comes through the window while you're playing a game, and all of a sudden something just got anchored in there. And that's the same as conversational hypnosis. It wasn't a formal induction, but it was a pattern interrupt. It was a shock, and all of a sudden, and a command that happened accidentally, and bang, now it's in there. So that conversational hypnosis is in the same genre as that.
Yeah.
So we use it to our advantage now, obviously, for good stuff. But it can also work the other way and be detriment when done incorrectly and done, accidentally.
Which is why even when we're making people feel their emotions in the stage hypnosis, at the end we can put in a lot of good stuff and actually say, well, they conquered that, they overcame it, they now can bring that courage forward, and they can, and that you're anchoring it into their shoulder and nod your head if you understand that, and that you are now a thriver, not just a survivor, and you can go forward in your life feeling absolutely amazing
and that's exactly the way to do the show properly. You keep on, once you really get into the game and you get really good at it, you get really comfortable, all your sketches will then be training mechanisms to make their life better. So I put them on a roller coaster, and they're scared of the roller coaster. And then after they're off the roller coaster, you conquered a huge fear. If you conquer this fear, you can conquer other fears, and you can conquer all the other things in your life. You were so brave to go on that ride. And so every sketch now becomes a learning experience to make your life better. And that's when you really hit the mark. That's when your show is really hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, no, and I love that bit, putting that in. It's just like I thought, oh yes. So that is what made me want to learn it, because I thought, well, hey, you can see so many more people and have a good laugh, because life is so serious now, and it really doesn't need to be. For that moment in time, people can enjoy themselves and get out and do something completely different.
I got really lucky early on in my career. I still remember I was working in El Paso, Texas. I was just starting out, and I did the show. And after the show, I get a call from this woman, and she says, "Hey, my husband was on your stage tonight, and I don't know what you did to him, but he had come back from the war, and he was having these he has these night terrors. He can't sleep in bed with me because he's got post-traumatic stress disorder, and you did something on the stage to him tonight, and he's back. My husband is sleeping in the bed with me. I got my husband back. My kids got their dad back."
Wow.
And I was like, man, really? And I said, this is more than just a comedy show now. This is something that's like changing people's lives. And it made me realize that my responsibility to the world was more than just the entertainment. I just thought I was just, bringing entertainment and giving people escapism. I remember when 9/11 happened, it was a Tuesday. And my next day was my birthday, September 12th. And I was scheduled to do a show the next day, and I had to do a show on September 12th, the day after 9/11. And after the show, people coming up to me, hugging and kissing me, saying, "Thank you for being here. Let us forget about what's going on." And I just thought that was what it was all about, was escapism. Let me forget about my life for the next hour and a half. But the show is so much more than that. And that El Paso gig really opened my eyes to it. And I said, I got to add more of this into the show. And that's when I came up with the good energy affirmation.
Yeah.
And I added all the extra pieces of the puzzle, and I made it a whole feel-good experience. Yeah, are you doing wacky stuff on stage? Yeah, but you know what? You don't care. And if you can laugh at yourself, everybody can laugh along with you too. And you can get rid of traumas, you can get rid of inhibitions, and you can make your whole life better with more confidence. It's all about adding confidence.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's just it. I don't think I ever would have been doing these if I hadn't been up on the stage myself.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest.
Exactly.
The confidence that it gave me, and I love that good energy affirmation. Of course, I add it in as well when I do my shows now as well, and I just think yes.
Yeah, it took me a year to write that. I wanted to make it just right, and I tooled it and reworked it and tooled it, to get it where it's at now. With now, I can say I've hypnotized over 1 million people with that good energy affirmation. Mm-hmm. So 10,000 plus shows, 200-300 people a night with the good energy affirmations. Millions of people have been hypnotized.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm excited because, as I say, it's good stuff, and now I can do it too.
And now you guys are going to carry the torch going forward. I'm pretty much retired now from doing the show. Now I'm just training new people to be able to do my show and do it the right way and bring awareness to the world about this great thing we have.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Thank you for being on here and sharing the wonderful work you do, Rich. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Have a great show tonight. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
you're going to make a lot of people laugh. You're going to make a lot of people have escapism. You're going to have a lot of people. You don't know who's in your audience every night. You don't know who you're saving.
Nope.
We've saved. You don't know who's going to be affected in the positive way and be saved. I could tell you 1 million stories like that where people were going to do something really bad to themselves, and all of a sudden the show turned it around for them, and all of a sudden now they're great people. They're offering so many great memories to everybody and their family and their friends and the world. It's really good.
Oh, I love that. Thanks, Rich. Thank you. And thank you for watching, everybody. So it's goodbye from me, Claudia, Rickard. It's goodbye from Rich Guzzi. So take care, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Rich.